The idea of any easy money is a temptation that's hard to resist. No one knows that better than plaintiff attorneys who flood the airwaves and billboards across the country, advertising their services and encouraging civil litigation. Excuse me. The legal services ads spent by plaintiff lawyers total more than 2.5 billion, more than 26.9 million ads in 2024. Whew. This is an increase of more than 32% compared to 2020. But if they win their case, how much of this money does the plaintiff see? I got my own personal story. Today I have Dr. Robert Hartwig. He will talk about lawsuit abuse, trust me, and effect on your pockets. They will also share what needs to be done to rein in the cost consumers have to pay for these sorts of frivolous lawsuits. Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning, James. Happy to be with you today.
I'm glad that you're here today. Yes, I'm a victim of that too. So let's get started. How does lawyer advertising trigger people to file lawsuits?
Well, you hit on some of it in the lead-in, James. It's part saturation. You simply can't, listen to the TV or the radio or drive down the street without seeing billboards, for instance, from hundreds of trial lawyers all across the state. And it's not just true in Missouri; it's true just about everywhere. And so, billions of dollars are spent to try to influence you and convince you to pick up the phone and call a lawyer, no matter what type of accident that you had. And so this triggers all kinds of emotional responses on the part of people. There are kinds of behavioral triggers that they perfected in these advertisements that make you feel wronged and aggrieved, and that the only way to seek address and to get redress here is to call up and call one of those phone numbers for one of the trial lawyers that are everywhere all the time. And quite frankly, the reality is something different. The best first call you should make is to your insurance company. Your insurance company, in fact, is legally obliged to respond to you in a fair and expeditious manner, and to provide to you every benefit that is due to you under your insurance policy. And so there's part deception here as well. We've all seen those advertisements where someone's getting a gigantic check and it says $10 million on it. Um, Very, very few people, indeed, James, are actually getting a check for $10 million. And the other part that they didn't tell you is that half of that is going into the pocket of the trial lawyer. So again, if you want a fair and expeditious settlement, you can work directly with your insurer. You're likely to get it more quickly than would otherwise be the case. And again, your insurer is legally obligated to work on your behalf in this context because that's what you bought through your coverage.
Interesting you bring that up. Yes, I have firsthand experience, but we'll talk about that later. Can you share more about the economic impact of the surge of
Right.
litigation?
Right. So all this advertising and all these giant awards don't come for free. What winds up happening is this drives up the cost of everything that you buy. Obviously, auto insurance, but even homeowners insurance, your cost of a meal at a restaurant, the cost of your health care, the cost of a trip to a doctor. All of these things are being driven up sharply. The cost of pharmaceuticals is estimated to be about 9% higher simply because of all the litigation against the pharmaceutical companies. So there's not a single product or service that you could buy that isn't driven up. And again, in the state of Missouri, this is estimated to cost people, the typical family, about $1,700 a year. That's money out of your pocket, James, you and your family, that could certainly be used for other things.
Definitely. When deciding whether to pursue a lawsuit, what factors should someone consider?
Well, someone ought to consider again, whether or not this can be handled directly by your insurer. In virtually all cases, this is going to be the fastest way for you to get redress and to be reimbursed, not only for your medical expenses and lost wages and maybe damage to vehicle or property, but you may be responsible for injuries to someone else. Insurers are staffed with professionals who do this day in and day out, and they make sure that you are protected legally during this process. So that would be your best first step to take, and I would highly recommend it for you to get redress as fast as possible.
Now, what action is necessary to alleviate concerns, lower cost for consumers?
There are a lot of actions now. Number one, people should pay attention to what the views are of their local politicians that they are electing to state and federal legislative posts. It is very important to the state's economy and to your family to pay attention to those positions that they take. Hold them accountable. But to learn more immediately, you can visit the website of the American Property Casualty Insurance Association at apci.org.
Okay, one more time, where can our viewers go for more information?
Yes, your viewers, James, I'd recommend that they go to the website of the American Property Casualty Insurance Association at apci.org.
I've been speaking with Dr. Hartwig. He is Clinical Associate Professor of Risk Management, Insurance, and Finance in the Dollar Moore School of Business at the University of South Carolina. You guys are picking up in football this year a little bit. That's okay.
We're hoping. We're hoping.
Yeah. Doctor, thank you for joining us on Morning Blend.
My pleasure. Anytime.